Okay, is that... Have I been muted this whole time? Is that working? Does this seem to be working now? Okay. Okay. Does that seem good? Okay. Okay. Turn myself up. Does it let me turn myself up? No, I might be. I don't want to turn up my gain anymore. And I can turn that down a little bit. Does this seem better balanced? Okay. Well, I can try. I'm not a very loud person. So it's currently saying there's 0 viewers, which is odd. I don't know. I guess the tools just aren't that accurate. Okay. So I think that's everything all set up, because I think everything else should work just fine. Okay. Let's open this up. Alright. Let's just do some basic scene setup stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set up the scene, which means setting up the render pipeline really quick and getting that all imported. Which isn't really important stuff, should just help us along a little bit. Why is the category music? It's not right. How do I change the category for, here we go. I guess. would gaming be the right category, I guess? I mean, it's not really gaming, but it is game related, so that's close enough. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so rendering, blah blah blah, pipeline asset. Okay. So let's go into edit, project settings. So I'm just setting the rendering pipeline to the universal rendering pipeline instead of the default one, or just some simple bloom and stuff. Because after all, what is the way to make a horrible game look not horrible? Is just some simple bloom, vignette, all that good stuff. There we go. Okay. And now we have a basic scene set up. Okay. So then I guess we can start planning out the game. So I'm thinking, obviously, it's going to need to be something pretty simple. I mean, we're not gonna, want to do that. Like, we're not gonna do anything too complicated, because if we go too complicated, we're not gonna be able to finish the project, and that's obviously a big no-no. Okay. Okay. Yeah, alright, that's good. Okay, so let's start planning this out. So, we're going to want something... I'm not making a game in 4 hours. This is... no. This is 5 hours. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So, let's do... maybe... no. Maybe some kind of simple space shooter would make sense, given the limited time, because those are really easy to make. So let's say maybe... I don't know. Okay, so let's say you shoot at enemies, and then enemies die. And then... no, I'm not... no. I said small scope. So you shoot at the enemies and then they die and go blue, and then they're dead. And then... yeah, go ahead, make a game. I believe in you. So... okay, so you shoot at enemies, they die. What's the whole point? Okay, so what about if... okay, wait, here's an interesting idea. Let's say that different enemies are all actually functional as players, as in you can play as any of them, and then you make it so that the player has limited ammo, you know, however many shots in their ship before they're out of ammo. And then the player has to somehow... No, I don't think so. I think I want to make some kind of survival-based system where you're trying to survive as long as you can in an arena of enemies. But so what if the player has some way to then switch to one of the enemy ships and take control of it once they're out of ammo, so that, you know, they can take over a different ship. I feel like that would make sense. So, okay, so the main problem I'm seeing here right now is what is to stop the player from just switching around all they want? Like, why destroy... Well, okay. I guess when you switch off of your original ship, and now, you know, you are this green ship up here, this white ship is now an enemy. Yeah, cooldown could make sense. So now this white ship is an enemy, and you are this green ship. And so now you have both of these. So you still have to shoot enemies to destroy them. So that it's not like Clone Drone in the Danger Zone where you can just swap endlessly if there's no limit to the mechanic, because if you swap over here, they're still going to be shooting you. Sure, we can make a railgun. So then the idea then becomes that you have to do as well as you can with the ship you're currently on, and then swap to another ship once you run out of ammo with that ship. So then, okay. So here's the question now, is what's to stop the player from just swapping to the strongest enemy on the screen every time it shows up? Like, what makes hard enemies actually threatening? Maybe give it some kind of Pokemon mechanic where you can't capture an enemy until they're below a certain health threshold. So you have to damage them a certain amount. That could be a struggle, though, in certain cases. Okay. So what if enemies have both a health meter, that is how close they are to dying, and then also have, like, kind of a like a swap meter, or a call it like a integrity meter. So then maybe you would have some way to lower an enemy ship's integrity without lowering its health. And if a ship's integrity goes to 0, then you're able to capture it. So then weaker, smaller ships would have less integrity, so that they're easier to capture. And bigger ships would have more integrity, so that they're harder to capture. Okay, I think this is a good idea so far. So then the whole kind of goal becomes, you know, capture the biggest ships you can. But then the question becomes now, how do you lower a ship's integrity? My first thought is some kind of alternate fire, where you can fire like some kind of EMP blast. But then if that's not different between enemies, no, that's okay. Okay, that's okay. If you have, say, on like a 5-second cooldown, you have an EMP blast ability that shoots out a projectile that travels and hits enemies. And then that lowers their integrity. And on the weaker enemies, a single EMP blast might be enough to completely bring them offline and allow you to take over. Okay. I think... Oh, hi. Hello. I'm currently working on the idea for the game, planning it out before the timer starts, which is in 15 minutes. Okay. So EMP blast enemies. Okay, so let's see. The gameplay loop is going to look something like this. So you're going to shoot enemies until they blow up. Then you're going to run out of ammo. And then you're going to EMP enemies until their integrity falls to 0. And then you're going to take control of the enemy and abandon your current ship. And then you're going to repeat. Okay. So this is the plan for the current gameplay loop. I think this makes sense. I think this will work. I think I like this. Okay. So I think all of the ships are probably going to have the same EMP, just because I don't feel like overcomplicating that. But every ship is going to have its own weapon. So let's see. Let's come up with a few ship ideas. So first off, we've got white, which is going to be like this player's starter ship. We've got green. Yes, gun. We've got blue. Let's say maybe yellow, red, and purple. And maybe let's stop at these 6 ships. I think that makes the most sense. So then I think what might make sense is to kind of separate these into 3 distinct categories, where we have the weak ships, the strong ships, and the chunky ships. So the weak ships would probably only ever take 1 EMP hit, and you can swap to them pretty much whenever you want on a whim. The strong ships are a bit stronger, but would take a couple of EMP hits to switch to, and then the chunky ships, the chunky ships, you would have to actually like kind of assail them with an EMP for a while to be able to take control of them. Okay, so let's see. For the weak ships, the standard ship can just be like a normal shot, you know, kind of what you would expect. Yes, we'll get some more gun, don't worry about it. So just like a standard shot. And then green ship, let's say maybe, what do we think about like a shotgun kind of thing, where it fires a bunch of short range shotgun pellets like that. We will get to more gun, don't worry. I think, okay, so skipping ahead a little bit, I I think that purple should definitely be some kind of railgun. I think that makes sense. And would also be very cool. It's like something where you hold left click to charge it up and then you fire a railgun shot that can pierce through enemies and stuff. And then red can be, how about like a kind of grenade launcher type situation where it like shoots a big exploding projectile. I think that sounds good for those two. And then for the strong, what do we think? What are we thinking about strong? Maybe we could do some kind of, how about, it does. Yeah, you're right. It does launch grenades. The grenade, I don't know what else the grenade launcher would do. How about, let's say, what if we have like a melee one? That's dumb. Let's do it. Let's say that the blue has like a melee blade. Like that. And like, you know, blasts through enemies and dashes through them and stuff. I think that'd be fun. And then, I mean, obviously it's a great idea and definitely isn't going to be a problem later, foreshadowing. And then for the other one, let's just say, like, fast pew pew. Like, just... Yellow can be burnt. Okay. So then, let's say weak can tank 1 EMP. Strong can tank 2 EMPs. And then let's say chunky can tank, how about 4 EMPs? That's a good progression, I think. You know, that might be a bit too much gun. I know it's crazy that such a thing could exist, but I think that might be too much gun. Okay. So then, let's say you get 1 EMP every maybe 5 seconds. So that, in the case of a weak enemy, you're probably already ready to EMP it and then take control. In the case of a strong, you're gonna have to take about 10 seconds to EMP it, and chunky, that's gonna take you like 15 seconds to take down, because your first one is probably already charged by the time you're trying to EMP it, and then you have to wait for 3 recharges. Okay, I think that sounds good. So then, like, you can't just kind of panic switch. You have to actually kind of think about what you're doing. Okay. So then, is that everything? This is going to be a really simple game, but I think with what I've laid out here, I think this might work. Okay. I am going... Yeah, you're gonna actually have to think about the actions that you're taking. I'm sorry, I know it's hard. So... I guess, let's see. Let's do this. Oh, perfect. So now, what we have going on is we have, okay, yeah, okay. I'm trying to brain. I don't have one of those. But I think this is all we need to plan. And I mean, we're coming up on the timer, so it's gonna start at 2 p.m. PST, and by 7 p.m. PST, I'm not gonna be allowed to work on this anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna have a pretty limited. Thank you. I appreciate the brain cell. I need it. So then, let's see, are there any other ideas? I think, from what I'm thinking, meta progression is very cool, but I don't think we have time. Thank you, I appreciate it. I don't think we're gonna have the time for meta progression. As cool as it is, I think this is just gonna have to be a simple shooter, like not any meta stuff, because we're barely gonna have time to implement all of this. This is gonna be complicated to add all these systems. So then, no meta progression. I think a high score is something I can do. That should be easy. Just a high score of how long you've survived, or maybe give point values for like destroying enemies or collecting coins or something. And then score based on, well, your high score. And then the goal ends up really just becoming survive as long as you can, shoot enemies, and do as well as you can, I guess. No, there's no online, no. No battle pass, no online multiplayer, no meta progression. And also online multiplayer is a real bad time to implement, not happening in 5 hours. Not for me, anyway. Okay, yeah. So, I think we've got the whole game kind of laid out. So then, I suppose, okay, so what do we really need to implement? So, we need the player to be able to move. Duh. Let's do maybe some kind of dash move so that you can dash around quickly, because that's fun. We're gonna need EMP shot ability on a 5-second cooldown. We're gonna need some kind of UI for that. We're gonna need health and integrity meters. How do you even... I think that's how you spell it. I'm stupid. Okay. Okay, health and integrity meters. Right, and we're also gonna need some kind of actual... Yeah, spelling is hard. It is. We're gonna need some actual way to take control of enemies. Alright, see ya. We'll probably have something like a functional game by the time you get back. Okay. So we're gonna need some kind of actual functional system to switch between your current ship and other ships. Maybe like... Man, how is this gonna work? Okay. You're gonna need some kind of like swap shot or something. Or maybe we make it simple. Maybe something like... How about let's just say enter swap mode, click on ship within range. Okay, let's do something like that. Okay, well, we're about there. Okay, So firing a cable that connects you to the ship before transferring, that sounds really cool, but that also sounds way more complicated than I'm confident that I can achieve within the time frame. This game is already kind of pushing it. This is kind of complicated. Okay, so then score, and I think that's about all of the planning that we're gonna be able to get done before 2 p.m. rolls around. So I think it's about time to get started. Here we go, 2 p.m. It is time. So I'm gonna need to kind of bust ass here, because I guarantee that this is going to be difficult to get everything working in time. Also, my code is spaghetti. I apologize. It is time. Let's go ahead and start with a ship script. So I'm gonna try and kind of segment everything, just to keep it kind of simple. Okay. So let's see, what are we gonna need to do here? I think we're going to, let's go ahead and have a, well, let's just start this out simple. So let's say public float move speed. And let's go fixed update. Let's say if input dot get key down, or I think I might want to try and do like Nova Drift style movement. I think that might make sense. So let's do get mouse button, and let's do 0. And then let's, right, we're gonna need a rigid body. So let's go ahead and public rigid by 2D, rigid, and let's say rigid dot add force, or yeah, let's do add relative force, vector 2 dot up times move speed. Okay, let's give that a try. So let's go ahead and let's call this ship 1. Very creative name, I know. So we're gonna need rigid body, move the gravity, drag that in there, set that to like 1, and let's see. I should be able to move. Yes. Goodbye. It can now move. Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's do, okay. So let's do vector, no, I'm dumb. Let's do a public void aim, and then let's have it input a vector 2 called dir, and let's just keep this simple. Let's do transform dot up equals dir. Okay, let's also go ahead and have a public void thrust, and then let's do that, and let's do thrust. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do aim. What do we want to do? I'm gonna do, right, we're gonna need, okay, let's just let's stop that there for now. And then let's go ahead and make a new script, and let's call this player. So then the ship is kind of going to be universal, no matter what, whether it's being controlled by an AI or being controlled by the player. Meanwhile, the player script is, oh shoot, I totally forgot. You need to go away. Yes, okay. The player script is just gonna be on the player ship and only the player ship. So let's go ahead and say public ship, and then let's do fixed update. Right, this is also gonna need a camera. And let's go ahead and let's say cam equals camera dot main. And then let's go into fixed update. Okay. So we're gonna say if input dot get mouse button 0, then we're gonna do ship dot thrust. And then we're gonna do ship dot aim transform dot position minus cam dot let's say screen to world point input dot mouse position. Okay, let's just go ahead and let's see what this does. So we go ahead and drag the player script onto our ship. Come on, get in there. There we go. Drag that on there. Oh, is my mic a little quiet? There we go. Is that better? I'll turn it up a little bit. My, it's a constant struggle. Okay, this is not quite right. This is not what I asked for, actually. Like, not what I wanted. Okay, let's see if I can fix that. So I believe I just need to swap these. And now if I try that again, yeah, there we go, that's working. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try and fix the fact that it is horribly sluggish. So let's set this to maybe like 100. No, that's not what I want. That's okay. So that's not good. Okay. So we're gonna want not that. So let's go ahead and let's add a public float max speed. And then let's say in fixed update if rigid.velocity.magnitude equals max, or let's say is greater than max speed, rigid.velocity equals rigid.velocity.normalized times max speed. Okay. So this is just going to make it so that basically all this line of code says is if going above max speed, don't. That's all it's doing. Okay, this is also not what we want. This is like this is not how a spaceship should fly. Okay. So let's say, alright, I've got to kind of tune these parameters now. Let's turn that down, turn that up. Okay. This is a little bit better. Still no drag though. There needs to be a little bit of drag. I know it's space and there shouldn't be drag, but it's not gonna feel right if there's not any drag. Okay. I think a little bit more drag will do the trick. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think this feels good. Okay. It's kind of still drifty, kind of spacey, but it's not complete nonsense. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and let's make a script and let's call this like standard weapon. So this is just going to be like a normal projectile weapon. So let's go ahead and have a public game object bullet. Let's have a public float fire, or not dire, fire rate. Let's have a public float fire velocity. You know, all of the important elements. So then let's go ahead and have a not public bool called firing and a not public bool called ready to fire. Let's have that default to true. So this is kind of how I tend to do this stuff, is that I'll have kind of this sort of framework where I have like a start fire and stop fire and then firing and ready to fire, because that means what I can do is I can have enumerator fire, and then alright, I'm gonna need these to be public for later. So an enumerator fire. So then I can say if ready to fire, start coroutine fire. Crazy stuff, I know. And we can also say firing equals true. And then over here, we can just say firing equals false. And then here, we can say ready to fire equals false. Because once we fire, we don't want to be able to fire anymore. Until this enumerator is actually done. So then we can go ahead and say game object, wrong kind of game object. Game object bullet equals, let's say instantiate bullet transform dot position transform dot rotation, and then there we go. Okay. So now we can say bullet dot get component rigid body 2D dot velocity. Let's just say add relative velocity or add relative force. And then let's say vector shoot dot up times fire velocity, and then let's make this an impulse. So what this is gonna do is gonna make a bullet. It's gonna add a force to the bullet. Okay, let's yield return new wait 4 seconds fire rate. So this is gonna wait as long as we decide the fire rate should be. I'm gonna make that 1 divided by fire rate because that makes things more. Because that means that fire rate is shots per second instead of seconds per shot, which is just easier to work with. Okay. So then, after we wait, we want to go ahead and say if firing, then we want to start coroutine fire. And then if we're not currently firing, if the fire button is not currently held down, then we just want to say ready to fire equals true. Okay, I believe this should work. So now in ship, we can go ahead and have public void start fire and public void stop fire. And let's go ahead and have a public standard weapon. And let's say if standard weapon does not equal null, standard weapon dot start fire. Okay. And then we just do the same over here with stop. So this is gonna come in handy later. Is basically we're gonna be able to have a bunch of different types of weapon scripts, and it's just gonna automatically handle that for us, which is gonna be very convenient. Okay, let's go ahead and say update if input dot get mouse button down 1 ship dot start fire if input dot get mouse button up 1 ship dot stop fire. So start firing when you press right click, stop firing when you release the right click. Okay. All that good? I think all that should be good. So now let's go ahead and make a simple bullet. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, so okay, so whenever the player pushes left alt, the game immediately closes and deletes all save data. So what does that accomplish? Why would we do that? Why would we want that to be what happens? Bullet 1. Okay. Now. Right, okay, we're gonna need a. Well, then they can. I don't know. Perish? Fusion Fortress? What an excellent game you bring up. Ah, shit, I have to assign the standard weapon. Okay, do we want bullets to inherit the player's velocity? That's an important question. I feel like no answer to this one is good. You know what? I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. But let's have the bullets get inherited velocity, because you know what? My game, you know? I like inherited velocity, and if you disagree, good for you. Okay. What does that even mean? What is that? I don't even... Okay. Okay. Let's say bullet, get component, rigid body 2D, dot velocity equals rigid dot velocity. Okay. So now velocity should be inherited. I think the velocity needs to be a little bit higher on the bullets, I'm gonna be honest. Or maybe the player should be... Maybe the player's a little too new-me. Maybe I should tune that back a bit. Maybe the player shouldn't be so insanely new-me, you know? Just a thought. I know new me is fun, but like, maybe it's a bit much. Okay. And then let's make the bullets a bit faster. No, that's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. So now you can noom around, you can shoot bullets. Okay, we're making good progress. So let's go ahead and let's see if I can just go into a different project and just like steal some of the stuff that I need. Where was the dumb? There's a dumb game I was making at some point that I should be able to... No? Where is it? Is it? Where is it? Here it is. I think it's this. Okay. I think, yeah. Okay, perfect. I can steal this. Brilliant. Okay, now I can go ahead and let's just add an image. Let's make this world space because I hate screen space canvases with a passion. Honestly, this is a thing for me. I hate them. I really, really hate screen space canvases. I know it's a really specific thing to have a hatred for, but I really do have a hatred for screen space canvases. Okay. So we've got a couple of bars. We've got the health bar. We've got... Yeah, let me just do this. Okay. So we've got the health bar. Let's call this HP bar. No. Why? What if the velocity of everything is randomly generated every frame? No. Why? Why would we do that? That's horrible. Okay. So for the player, this is going to be yellow, and this is going to be our ammo bar. But for the enemies, this is going to be blue, and this is going to be our integrity bar. Okay. Okay, I think this makes sense. So, we're going to go ahead and let's make a new script. And this is just going to be a pretty basic script. This is going to be our stay upright script. Okay. We're 20 minutes in. That's, what percent in is that? Can someone do the math? What percent is 20 minutes through 5 hours? That feels like a milestone. Oh, hey Sharko, welcome to the chat. No, what if your projectile velocity is based off how much you donate to Cosmo Corner? No, this is not a pay-to-win experience. Okay, 1 out of 15. I appreciate the thought. Okay, so this is just gonna be update transform dot rotation equals quaternion dot identity. 8%. Oh god, I forget how fast time goes. 8% is quite a ways, huh? I don't think I have donations set up. I'm pretty sure I don't, actually. Okay. So, you can now drive around and you can shoot. Okay, 6.66666 endlessly %. Okay, I see. I appreciate the thought, Sharko. No need to donate, though. Okay, so then we have our move speed and everything. Okay, I think now let's go ahead and make these filled. Let's do... How do I want this to be oriented? Yeah, I think this makes the most sense. Okay. That looks good. So now if I have it like blue, and then I drive around, yeah, okay. This looks perfect. So now I have this going on. Do I actually even want to dash now that I'm thinking about it? Or should I just leave it? What if, ooh, okay. What if each one of these different ships had a different special ability? So what if this had, like, nothing because it's boring and bad and it sucks? What if this had, like, a dash? What if this had, I don't know, a teleport or something. Or no, let's give that to purple. I think purple should have a teleport. I think that makes sense. Red could have like a, I don't know. The point is, what if they all had their own abilities? I think that would be neat. I'm not gonna think about that too much though right now. I just wanna get stuff working for now. So then let's see. Let's go ahead and have a public and max ammo, and then let's have a public and ammo, and then let's go ahead and let this reference UI. And then let's do public image. And then let's call this ammo UI. Okay, perfect. So let's also go ahead and just say, what do we want to do here? How about, you know what, let's just assume that ammo exists for now. I know that sounds like nonsense, but it'll make sense later. Okay, so current, or I think it's just ammo minus. And then let's say if ammo is less than 0, let's just yield break. And this should mean no more shooting for you. And then let's also go ahead and say ammo UI dot fill amount equals ammo divided by max ammo. Okay. Let's also go ahead and let's not have this be public. Let's set ammo equal to max ammo here. Okay, perfect. So now what this should mean is we've got the ship, and then the ship has this UI. Let's say for now 20 shots. I don't know if that's gonna make sense, but let's see. No, it's gone. The ammo UI is gone. Okay. Right. I need to go ahead and say float and float. Because it was trying to divide integers, and it really does not like dividing integers, is something that I've learned. So I cast them to floats and then divide them, and now this should work. Yeah, look at that. So now, as I shoot, my ammo counter goes down, and then when I stop, or when I run out of ammo, I can't shoot anymore. Perfect. That is working exactly as it should. Oh, right, okay, I'm gonna need... it's kind of clunky to do everything like this. Yeah, no, I shouldn't. Okay. You know, I'll figure it out later. So we have... the player is able to fly around, shoot bullets, yeah. Okay. Ooh, what if enemies have friendly fire? That could be fun. Like, they're able to hit each other. Oh, that could be a lot of fun. Okay. So let's just go ahead and let's do like 0.7. I'm gonna make this a little smaller because I think I would like to make other ships a bit bigger. Yeah, okay. So then we're gonna have, what we're gonna have is like this, and then like this, and like this. And here, let's just go ahead and move all these over to the left. And then let's have, I don't know, like 1.3, maybe 1.5, 1.5. Yeah, I think 1.5 looks good. Let's do like that. Okay. So then this one is gonna be green. This one is gonna be blue. This one is gonna be yellow. This one is gonna be red, and this one is gonna be purple. Okay. So this is all the ships we're gonna have. I know it looks pretty simple right now, but I think it's gonna make sense. I think it's gonna be really cool. Okay. So let's see. Wait, what happens if I just... Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. That's very not good. They're all just... They become one. Okay. Let's go ahead and... let's just get rid of those for now. Oh god, I don't think I need to add an infighting system. I think that's a step too far. I think then you would just never have to shoot. That's also way more complicated than I need right now. Okay. God, we're 2:30. It's already 2:30. Holy shit. Okay. So we have ammo work. Let's see. So we have player movement working. I think dash for now. I'm gonna say bleh. I don't need that. Okay. So we need, let's go ahead and add the EMP shot functionality. So this is going to be just kind of another standard weapon. This one's new, there we go. Let's set the fire rate. You know what, no, let's make a new script. And let's call this EMP gun. It's a genius name, I know. So the EMP gun is going to work a little bit differently. So we're going to go ahead and have a enumerator fire EMP. Or you know what? No, let's not do an enumerator. Let's do, so first off, public void fire EMP. And then we're going to have using Unity engine.ui, and then we're gonna have a public image cooldown image. Let's say cooldown meter, and then let's go ahead and say let's say float cooldown. We say if cooldown is less than or equal to 0, then pew else return. No, I don't need this. Okay, so if cooldown is less than or equal to 0, pew. One of the things that we'll do in here is we'll say cooldown equals 5. So then let's actually just go ahead and set a public float max cooldown, and then let's just say cooldown equals max cooldown. We can even set this to a default of 5 to make our lives easier. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and say if cooldown is greater than 0, cooldown minus equals time dot delta time, and cooldown meter equals, okay, what are we gonna do here? So this is gonna be max cooldown minus cooldown meter divided by max cooldown. Oh right, I gotta say dot fill amount. So it actually knows what I'm talking about. Is this? Oh, right. I have to say just cooldown. Okay. I believe this should work, kind of, ish. Let's go ahead and let's just like, for now, I might not have it this way eventually, but for now I'm just going to that, and then like that, And then, okay. So we're gonna have to, right. We're gonna actually have to assign like a button to the EMP gun. Let's see, so cooldown meter is gonna be this, and then let's just say, what do we want the button to be? EMP gun. Okay. Let's just say if input.get key down space. How about shift? Yeah, I'll say shift. We want emp dot fire emp. Okay.